Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Namaste. It's so nice to see all of you here. Lovely.
Shweta, you just said namaste. Really?
Yes,
I mean,
I just did a
it's a virtual
namaste.
cafe, and how many of you really say namaste in today's world? We're in a cafe
Okay,
style of setup, and I
okay,
mean, come on, namaste.
but it's like an Indian. It's an Indian greeting to welcome people, and I'm very sanskari. You see, so that's why I did a namaste. Why? It's an
Mm,
Indian tradition, yeah. You don't follow traditions as such.
well, I would say not really. I'm a traditional person. I think I'm more of a person who is more open-minded. So,
Okay.
namaste and all. I just say hello, what's up, hey guys. Just keeping it simple and sweet.
Aha. Okay. Sounds great. Okay, let me ask you something then. I
Yeah.
recently heard that you had your birthday this month, right?
Yes, I did.
Nice. So you must have enjoyed it for sure.
Oh, of course, it was amazing. We
S-
went to a park and I had with my friends and some family members, and we got together and we had some great, outing sports. So yeah, we did some things.
Did you do anything else also?
Oh
Or
yeah,
what did you do?
we normally had that nice cake made. We had a couple of cakes and they had some candles and as usual, you blow it and get older.
Okay,
So yeah,
caught you.
that was very.
Caught you there itself that you're following this tradition. You followed this tradition of cutting the cake and blowing candles, isn't it? So Piyush, we do follow certain kind of traditions and we don't even realize it. So caught you here, don't you think?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I think I didn't realize that's a tradition now that you mention it.
See,
And I
yeah,
think, yeah, it's something which I've been doing now for a long time. I just don't want to mention my age, but since a long
no
time.
need. Absolutely, yes. So we do follow certain kind of values, traditions, and we don't even realize it in our daily lives. So good.
Yeah.
So amazing. Welcome all of you to this session of Virtue Cafe on today's topic, which is rooted yet independent. And I'm Shweta. I'm professionally a chartered accountant, and I've been working for almost 10 years. I've been practicing meditation for like 7 years, and I will be facilitating the session along with Piyush. Piyush, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah. So now I would introduce understanding what Shweta meant. So namaste, hello, welcome, and good morning to all of you, and even good afternoon if you're from different part of the world. And yeah, I'm myself Piyush Ahuja. I'm currently an entrepreneur in Dubai, and I've been part of the Raj Yoga Center for a long time as well. And meditation is my, I would say, morning cup of tea. It's something in my start. If I don't get that, it's like I feel disconnected. So that's where Raj Yoga Center helped me. And Virtue Cafe, it's a very beautiful session where we have like-minded young adults join together, where we share virtues, where we share values, and we discuss on topics which are very open-minded yet traditional, and yet where we can understand each other what we are thinking. So, and it's a cafe style atmosphere, but unfortunately, we are doing now virtually. We are hoping to be soon live, and then, you'll normally find us giving you coffees and teas, or some beverages or brews that you could have. So that'll be happening soon. So as of now, I'm having my morning cup of tea. It's a black tea, and I
Oh,
hope you
wow.
all have something with you, tea or coffee. There's a banana I see with Krishna.
Yeah, Krishna Bhai has a banana. I just have my water bottle. Excuse me.
Okay.
Okay. And amazing.
So
Thanks,
how is the
Piyush.
Friday for you, Shweta? And how is the Friday for everyone? First of all, let's ask that.
Oh, it has been a wonderful morning. I started off today with a beautiful meditation. And here am I with fully energized for today's session. Are you all? Give me a thumbs up if you are. Oh, wow. That's the spirit. Amazing. How are you all feeling today? Fantastic. Great. Thanks, Piyush. First of all, thank you for continuing our tradition, right, to welcome our guests. Yeah, so that's also a tradition. So before you say next time that you're not following any traditions, keep in mind that we do follow some of them and we don't realize it. Yeah, that's better. All right. Should we move on then?
Yeah. So, I mean, when I was just thinking about today, for me, the Friday, normally my Friday is to relax and be slow as much as possible. Just before we begin, I wanted to share this. But so I was literally relaxed. And at 7 a.m., I felt I need to sleep more. And I was going to be sleeping more. So I was supposed to go somewhere and I had committed for that. But then I said, no, I don't feel to do that. And I wanted to sleep more because I was like, oh, I'm so alone and independent here that there's no one to stop me. But I somehow pushed myself to get up, get going, and I went to that place and I feel recharged and rejuvenated. Now, why am I sharing this is because it's amazing to see all of you here coming on this Friday in the morning at 10:30. I know you all had a long week and it's a Friday where you usually just relax and be yourself and unwind. But to join for such a session with us, it means a lot to us, all of us, especially the planning team, the people who are behind in Raj Yoga. So, as you know, Virtue Cafe is organized by Raj Yoga Center. So again, we welcome you. Thank you for joining, and we hope that you'll be here for with us till the next 1.5 hour, where we'll also have a guest speaker who's coming all the way from Bahrain, and we'll let you know more about her. But you might have seen the flyer already. So let's move on to the topic now. Finally, Shweta.
Oh, yes, the most interesting thing, right? Rooted yet independent.
Yeah.
So, Piyush,
Yes.
what does this topic mean to you? Let's start with you itself. What does it mean to you?
Mhm. Well, I had a definition in my mind, but I think there's a more clear definition after the Namaste thing. And why I would say is that because normally when I think of the meaning, the word rooted, it comes to my mind is that rooted means the roots are usually if you see the roots are under the ground and they all are tangled or they're together. So that's what rooted comes to my mind when I imagine that. And independence for me was, well, I'm completely independent. I don't wait for people's opinion or judgments to make my decisions. So that's what it was. But also rooted came here understanding that rooted means you said the word traditions are very important. I would add on to that the customs, the beliefs, the culture which we all follow. But more than that, I think it's rooted is being connected to each other, being with each other, and yet independent means, well, you are with your friends, you are with your family, you are with one another, but you are independent here. You're independent here. So that's what comes to my mind, really. uh, what does root to get independent?
Oh, wow, lovely. That was a good sharing. Amazing. The topic itself is beautiful. But yeah, I have a slightly different view. But yes, let's ask the audience as well. What do they mean or what do they think of this topic, right?
Okay, so great. So, friends, you all are here. What we're going to do is today is let the mute button be unmuted. So you have the floor on. Unmute yourself and share what does this mean to you. Be feel free to voice out your opinion. Whatever comes in your mind. It doesn't have to be a definition. Just something which from your heart. So what does rooted yet independent mean to you?
So Komal has already shared. She's saying rooted, I feel, means being with your values and not compromising with it. Absolutely. Okay, great.
Okay.
So being rooted with your values without compromising. Amazing. Anybody else? Yeah, Krishna is saying it was also be great to see you all. Okay. Yes, guys, please turn on your cameras so that we can see your lovely faces and we can make our conversations more interactive.
Right.
And it is, yeah, we feel more that we are sitting in a cafe and sipping a cup of coffee and having this friendly conversation. So please turn on your cameras if possible. Krishna, you
Shweta, can I
share on
say
the topic.
something?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, when the thought of rooted comes to my mind, I thought of being grounded. Root means on the ground, or rooted in the ground. So grounded means I have a very steady kind of understanding of what I'm doing. Like, when you're rooted to a place, you're kind of grown to it. You have begun your life in that kind of place. So I'm rooted in this place already in Dubai. I would say like that. But spiritually speaking, yes, I'm rooted in Dubai. So yeah, being grounded is one of the things. So sometimes it's not easy to let go of those roots because it's been so deeply embedded in you. So I feel like this is what that's why it's not easy to let go of roots or something to that effect of having some roots. It's you have grown into it, you have flourished in that place or that space, and so you love it, you have enjoyed it so much. So being rooted is that's what it means. Being independent is another ball game altogether, I feel. So I don't know what it means like that you are rooted, but you are also independent. It's really a dilemma for me. How do you do that? How do you feel like you are uh, free, but at the same time you are connected to your roots? I want to hear everyone's thoughts as well. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Melissa. Wonderful. Thank you. Yes, Krishna.
I don't know what it means exactly, but I'm just going to pull out the flyer that somebody made for this. And, in the picture, there's this person on the ground flying the kite. I think that picture says a lot. You're independent, flying high, enjoying your life, but yet you're connected to your roots, you're grounded, you're humble. So in a way, this one sentence comes to my mind, this one phrase, it's like freedom with responsibility. You're free, but you're also responsible, you're grounded. So I just wanted to quickly add that it's a very beautiful picture. Yes.
Yeah. Amazing. Thank you. Lovely. So I think
Joji, Kajal, Komal, Maitri, Sona, come on, be free to share. See, this is not a platform where you are just listening in Zoom typically. We're just actually, since we can't meet really, we're just doing virtually this. So, how would we like to hear from you, Satish?
Yeah, I was just reflecting on the flyer, and Krishna already shared that. So then the second example came into my mind was about the tree, and the roots of the tree is like grounded in the below, which is not visible also. But the tree is visible and it's growing on its own the direction it's wanted to take. When I reflect on that roots, those are the values I hold. That is the true values which I am holding on to. For example, like for me, being honest, being truthful, being authentic. These are some of the things which very closely connected to my heart. So whatever I am doing, let it be my interaction with my friends, let it be my work, let it be whatever it may be I am expressing in the outside, but I am holding on to those intrinsic values which is close to my heart. I feel that being rooted for me is to holding on to those roots of the values, no matter what things I am doing. So there is a freedom for me to express myself, but still I hold on to those roots which define me as very unique in that way. Yeah, this is what my reflection on this. Thank you.
wonderful. Thank you, Satish. Anyone
Yeah, good
else?
morning.
Good morning.
Joji.
Yes.
What came to my mind is that there is a proverb or there is a story that a bird coming and sitting on a tree which is going to fall, and the bird did not depending on that tree branch or the place where that sits. The bird is depending on its own capacity of being flying. So we all have, though we have all the supports from the other supporting areas, we have to be thorough with our own capabilities, our own capacities, our own what to say, virtues, whatever it is. So this is what came to my mind when I heard that rooted with independent. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much. That was a lovely story as well. Piyush, hi there. There was a story right now. Does it remind you of anything?
Yeah, I mean, I love stories, guys. I really love to listen to stories. Shweta, you have a story of your own, something on this topic?
Oh, yes, I do
What does this
have.
topic mean to you? You haven't shared yet.
Oh, yes, I didn't. Okay. Yes, for me, this topic means is rooted with your values, yet be independent means rooted with your values, within your values, but yet be able to grow or to achieve success or do whatever you do. So I have a quick story to share here. So I have been listening to things throughout my life when I was growing up is like, um, don't talk too much, especially in front of elders. Be quiet, listen more. So I always thought that to be silent or to be silence is the virtue to go for, and silence is the key for everything. And the best part was that my teachers loved me because I was always a quiet child. So what else you want, right? In that age, if the teacher loves you and gives you those extra 5 marks in your English language paper. So I thought that silence is the key and it is going to get me everything in life. So I grew up with that. But as years passed by, slowly I realized that that's not working anymore. So talking is required to get things done, and especially in corporate life. You have to talk to people, you have to exchange your opinions with your bosses, with your managers, with your colleagues, if you want to learn and if you want to grow, right? So there was my virtue of silence. It was being challenged, and I was facing a dilemma that should I keep quiet or should I talk? So there was a dilemma in my mind that how can be rooted with my values, yet be independent, yet I can be successful. But somehow I found out balance between being an introvert and extrovert. But yes, I hope by end of this session, I'll be more clearer and walk away with more wisdom. Yeah, that was my story.
Amazing. So that again, there's another story. So you know what? As I was saying, I love to listen to stories, and when I think of stories, I think of I'm thinking of an activity which we could use up here, since it's a nice, cozy, small group. I can imagine a nice activity which we could get together to do. So, what we are exactly doing now in this session is, before we have the guest speaker, I would just share my screen for you all to know where we are right now and how we are flowing. So, as you see, we were just exploring what's on the topic, and you all shared your inputs, that what does it mean really to be rooted and yet independent. But now what we are going to be doing is, I need a little more participation from each one of you. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be pairing you up. So we'll be making a group of two of you. So there'll be an A and a B, right? Since we are just a small group, we'll be pairing you up, and you'll be going into a separate room. And what you have to do is you and your partner are going to be talking about, as I said, I love stories. So we're going to be giving you two situations or two scenarios. You have to choose one of the scenario which you as a team would like to take up, and then discuss on it and give your opinion and share on it together. So you will have about 8 to 10 minutes to prepare on it. I would say 8 to 10 minutes is enough, and then come back and present it in 2 minutes. Now, how would you present it? We'll give you a couple of options. One is that either you can perform it as a act or a skit, or you can just share your input, because since it's just the two of you, so it's A and B, right? So your partner A and B. So let me show you what exactly I'm talking about. So here are two situations where we call it an under express. Scenario one is where, Shweta, would you like to read this one?
Yeah, sure. So this is the scenario. First is hard work is usually the value which is being taught to us. So hard work leads to success. And the scenario is that, let's say, which is very common, a very short deadline has been given to you by your manager for an important task, which does happen very often. And taking a long cut or working hard will not allow you to complete the task in time. Okay, so you might have to come up with an alternative solution. Alternative solution, as in you cannot do hard work here because hard work needs a lot of time. So you have to think about some other way. How would you work with your boss to come up with the best plan of action without compromising your core value of hard work? So probably this is a scenario, and then we can discuss within the team and we can come out with a solution. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Does it make sense for everyone?
Yeah, so this is where your scenario one you're given. This is where you have to discuss between you and your partner, and then you have to come up with a solution for it. So that's what we are saying, how we are rooted here and yet independent using this scenario. And another scenario again is, I'll change it, sorry. Yeah. So stick to your principles even in the face of peer pressure. Now, here the scenario is where you're out with your friends, you know they smoke, but you don't prefer it. They encourage you to smoke, and you might be unhappy and they might be unhappy if you don't. How will you respond in this situation without compromising on your principles? So again, this is a situation where you're rooted and yet you have to think independently. So now these are the two scenarios. Again, I'll just share it. Scenario one was, you have hard work leads to success, which Shweta read it. You can just take a minute to read it. And so how would you work with your boss to come up with the best plan of action without compromising core values of hard work? And in the second situation is, how would you respond in this situation without compromising? So now what you have to do is, you're going to be paired up. You will be given invited to a room. Kindly join it. And it's just a conversation you're having with your partner. And you will have 8 to 10 minutes to prepare for it. And then you have to come back and perform it. So when I say perform, you can come and speak up, or you can give a solution in the form of a skit, or however you want it. You will just have 2 minutes. So sounds good? So on your screen, you will be given an option to join a room, and I would request you to please join it and have this interaction with it. So Kajal is paired up with Krishna, Joji is paired up with Medlin, Sangeeta is paired up with Sona. Please join each one of you. Satish, I can't send you to a room with Komal. I don't know why. Why I can't see you. Why is that? You're not showing in at all in the breakout rooms. Your name is not shown. Is it because you're the host?
Yeah, I have assigned to everyone except for me, mostly. So now Komal is there.
Can you just...
Yeah.
Can you remove yourself as a host for a timing and join with Komal?
Hold on. Where is
room 4?
He has been assigned to already one room. Yeah. So now
room 4 is where Komal is.
Session is.
I'll just copy paste in the chat box the values, the scenarios, so it's easy for it, right? They will get it right in the breakout rooms.
You have to create broadcast message to all.
Oh. So okay, how can I do that?
Okay, you put it in the chat box, no problem.
But will they be able to see it? The others in the breakout rooms?
I will post it to the broadcast room. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Number 4. Okay. So keep the conversation.
Yeah, room number.
Probably, or because the session is being recorded, so the main platform will be getting recorded. Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, Satish. I can't hear you. You're muted, I guess.
Not hear me. How are you? So I heard that you are preparing for your Diwali, huh? Huh?
Yeah.
Good. So now we have to stop that and we have to come for the conversation now. Are you have you listened to that? What they were asking us to discuss?
Yes, yes, yes. I'm not preparing for Diwali. I'm at the center and it's lunchtime here. So
Oh,
we're
that's,
listening to your session with my aunt.
wow, that's nice.
Yeah, I didn't by mistake. She left the group, so she also wanted to participate. So we are in the kitchen. Tell me.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So, what is that? Two scenarios. One is that is I think the smart work and hard work, correct?
Mhm.
That is the one scenario.
Yes.
Then, yeah, what do you think that? What is your experience in terms of dealing with when you have been given a task to finish where you have short time, and so how you cope up with that situation?
What I usually do is see first if my boss will tell me, okay, you have to do this, whatever. First 2-3 times I let go, understanding first his nature, how I need to approach him. All these things need to be understood. Then if I see this is happening like continuously, then maybe I'll propose a suggestion, or I will plan my work in such a way that I will finish it off 1 hour early or half an hour early, so that I know that I have a little backup, so that if I get any last minute stuff I can do it
Mm-hmm.
like in a smart way. And if that also doesn't work, then obviously I'll have to, approach him, of course, in a nicer way and explain.
Yeah, yeah, true. That's like even for me, what I learned through those experiences I had working with different people and all. So the prioritizing that thing to get the exact result. For example, normally we deal with the client assignments, correct? So we need to have some deliverables where we have tight deadlines and all. Sometimes client will come and they will push us. So what I learned is to we cannot complete each and everything within that time space, but how to prioritize what is more important at first, so that things will be taken in on priority basis, so that the expected result is achieved on timely basis when we learn the prioritizing and giving importance. Because sometimes we will do things which are not much important to do that deliverable, so provide that deliverable. So to understand this and to put it in a story, how can we do it in a story form? Like we can share it, like enact it. Like one person can be a boss and another person can be a colleague, or a team. One boss is there, the team is going to work together, and presenting the solutions or the discussion we are going to have.
Okay, so we have to enact it, yeah. So I don't mind being the boss
Okay, fine. So the
for a change.
task is you have to create a scenario where other person feel, that is what the scenario they have already given, correct? So
Yes.
now we need to present it in like a kind of a real situation, how we are going to cope up. One point is we took it. One is planning to complete it before time, so that we cannot do each and everything thing, which is also there are like 20-80 rules there, correct? That 20% of your work will bring your 80% to your percentage of the result they talk, correct? So if we apply that 20-80 rule, so it's all about the prioritizing what is that 20% which we need to complete, so that 80% result can be achieved, then the boss is also satisfied with that outcome. So
But I'm not going to be
Okay,
easy boss, huh?
carry on, carry on.
don't screw me there, I have already
I'm going to give you a tough time, okay? I'm famous for that in my
Go,
role play.
like
Komal, Komal, good luck to you. Satish Bhai will give you lots of accounting knowledge now. All the best, Komal.
Oh yes. He would also have a tough time with me. He's never met a boss like me, no?
Present 2 minutes or
Acha.
Yes, I think 2 more minutes. Yep.
So we
okay.
have to now enact it.
Yes.
We'll at least prepare. Okay. So
Yeah,
I'll
at
start.
least.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll
At
start.
least.
Hi. Okay, Satish. Good morning. And you have to do. I need
Okay,
these
I'm
files
leaving.
ready
Yeah.
by
Can
3
continue.
p.m. Okay. And I
Yeah.
don't need any excuses. Okay. So 3 p.m. is 3 p.m. You have to do it.
Yes, madam. So, yeah, you know that I'm always completing before time whatever the assignment I have taken up. But this time, multiple assignments you have given me on the same time. So, giving this time and the result what we want. So I would like to suggest you that I will go for a priority basis to deliver what our clients need now. For that, I will focus on my priorities so that we can first uh, deliver our customers what they are expecting from us. So that can be achieved. For that, I need to complete just that 20 percentage of work so that the things can be done. Then the rest of the things which we can do our in-house work, that is which kind of documentations and this and that, this we can take it later. So now we will try
You
to
know what? To
huh?
enter in a meeting in a minute. So see, I don't know. You decide all that, but I know that you have to do this by 3 p.m. Okay, no matter whatever work you have, just complete and give the file by 3:30 and leave.
I cannot leave before completing my work. That I know. You will not allow me to
How
go.
do you do it?
Yes, madam. So
That's
no.
so funny, boss.
Yeah, I will do it before that time. Yeah.
Okay,
So
great.
here
So
we
we
are
expect
going to do.
okay. And on Diwali, you're going to get a promotion. Okay, after this. All right, then I have to go now. I have a meeting. Bye bye.
Okay. So we will have a good weekend. Okay, we'll go back.
Yes, we can go back.
Yeah.
And then,
Sure.
okay,
But
so I would,
it will finish by 12 o'clock, right?
yeah. We are just going to have now another 8 minutes more, and then you will
Okay.
hand it over. Okay, welcome, guys. I hope there was some chit chat, and I hope there was some conversations happening. I see some smiles, so that looks positive. Okay, even if you're trying to hold your smile, you can smile. That's good. So, we had rooms going on. So, who would like to begin first? Shall I go with the room 1, room 2, room 3 that way?
yeah.
So we
We
had
have some more people missing, no? Yet to join.
who was there?
Sona, Sangeeta, I think.
It's Sangeeta and Sona. Room 3.
Room 3. They are still in interaction.
Yeah, they've
Yes,
come
I think
back.
they've joined now.
Okay. Great. Sangeeta and Sona is back. Okay. So now all of us are here. So I'll begin with room 1. Room 1 was the 2Ks, Krishna and Kajal, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So Krishna, Kajal, you both have to speak simultaneously. Now it's our time for a while. You
Great.
both have to.
We're just going to quickly enact two scenarios here. The first one's the office scenario. Yeah, the first one's the office scenario. And I am the boss who's calling Kajal. Hey, Kajal, we have this project that we need to finish quickly. I want this to be completed in this week before Thursday. Please see that it is completed.
Sure, Krishna. Let me just, have a look onto the project which is completed till now and what is pending. Let me just come back to you after checking this.
Sure, Kajal, but make sure you complete it.
Sure, Krishna. So meanwhile, when I had I told Krishna about the situation, that whatever is completed and whatever is pending. So I go back to my desk, understand on the what all is completed and what is not. I think about it and go back to Krishna. So hi Krishna, I have thought about it, and since Thursday is, it's very near. It's just 2 days from here on. So I would just request, since this part of the project is completed and this is not, and it is a very detailed oriented works, Krishna, and it takes a lot of effort and a lot of hard work to be put in, which I have been doing since so many days. So since the deadline is near, I would request if we can, get the right set of people from the team and, give part of the project which can be executed in the meantime. This is this is, just take it as a suggestion. If we can do that, it will be really great, and we can get the right set of people to work on the right set of things, and we'll be able to finish it, as soon as possible before the deadline. So if we can, suggest me few colleagues who can, work on a particular set of projects and pool in our hands together as a team and, take it forward from here.
Oh my God, Kajal, we are running out of time. Nevertheless, since I've known you for so long, since I know you as a person who's hardworking, and since
Did he freeze by any chance?
Yeah, he did
Yeah.
freeze.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
Krishna,
guess,
you
yeah.
got freezed. You got freezed from, you know
okay.
me as a person. Yeah. So from
Okay,
there,
great. So I know I've known you to be a very hardworking and sincere person, and I'm sure you're going to make this happen well within time. So please go ahead and speak to maybe Rohit and Tarun to join you and finish this project. And I think with everyone's effort, we can finish this. And I really appreciate the fact that you have been very open and came and discussed the matter with me. This is the right way to go, and all the very best to you.
thank you so much, Krishna. Thank you for understanding. Highly appreciated. Thank you so much.
So this is the first scenario where she didn't want to skimp on the work. She didn't want to take any shortcuts. Rather, she asked more resources. So many hands working on a single project rather than one person working on it. So it's going to be quality work. Yet we're going to finish within the deadline. So that was the first this thing. So the next scenario, we are in a bar, and I am a person who never smokes, never drinks, but this is my childhood friend. I'm this one scenario. This one
Yeah,
scenario.
just one
Okay,
scenario.
perfect,
Because
perfect.
it's only 2 minutes, so we want
Great.
others also to.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks,
Great.
Krishna and
Great.
Kajal. That was amazing.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, let's go to now the second room. I think it was Madeline and Joji.
Yeah, so it's Joji.
Yeah.
Be the one speaking for us.
Thank you, thank you. The question was a great question. Usually, we are coming up with such problems every day in our office, even outside in our social group also. But what I would say is, why to feel hard work? If that work is a passion to us, sometimes it may not be a hard work. So whatever work we get is not a hard work if it is passion and we are happy with that. So the more work we get, we will enjoy that. The example what I was telling is, I like driving. So if I get a chance of driving long, I enjoy driving, and I don't feel as it is a hard work. And the other example is, when I was building my house years before, my workers used to come early morning from 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock. They get tired, and they used to say it is more hard. But even before they come early morning, I used to get up and do the work to get ready for the workers to do something. And evening after they go again, I continued work to make them work in the morning. I used to work more hard, even more time, but that didn't make me feel hard work. So it depends on our feeling or our passion or the expectancy of our workout. That was actually said about the hard work, and yeah, and even after if we feel hard work to get some help as their scenario was going on, get help from someone who is more passionate into that kind of work, so that for them it is more easier than we are working hard on it. So that was the answer for the first question, and second question will be answered by Ms. Medini.
Okay, do we still have time, Piyush, or only one? Okay, cool. Then that should be it. Thank you.
Sorry, I have to keep a time check because our guest speaker is also here, and we need to keep precise. We need to listen to her also. So, okay, the group 3 quickly is going to be Sona and Sangeeta. I'll just spotlight you guys. 1 minute. Add spotlight. Yeah, go ahead, please.
So we are going to enact scene 2, and we are best friends. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so now I just love this place. I really enjoy it. The ambience is so good. Wherever I go, I look for this place where I can smoke, and I love the ambience. Such a good music. But it's very disappointing. Yeah, you never accompany me in smoking. You're my best friend. You should always, do what I like, and you will really enjoy it. Have you even tried? I don't think you will even try. Should even just take one sip. Sorry, just take one. Just try it out.
Okay. So Sangeeta, I have tried maybe a couple of years ago, but I could never actually get the hang of it. That was back then, where I just tried maybe once or twice, but I never really enjoyed it. And for that reason, I never even took it seriously or never tried to get the high by smoking. And now I practice certain meditations and stuff where this is not allowed. Smoking, drinking is not allowed. And it actually reduces the effect of the meditation. And I also feel that that I get I'm high on life itself. So I don't need something like an external thing to for my enjoyment or for me to be high. And I'm very comfortable with this space. I have absolutely no issues in you smoking in front of me. We can chill around, we can go everywhere. Just that I don't want to smoke.
Thanks. I really like that you don't tell me, not to smoke, but you give me a lot of things that I can reflect upon, and maybe, I can one day try quit smoking. Thanks, Sona.
Most welcome.
Wow. Lovely. That was too good. Very entertaining. Thank you, Sangeeta and Sona.
That's great. As if the scenario was real and you
actually
she quit the smoking after 2 years.
Yeah, it was very lively. Thank you for the experience. Moving on
Very
to the
good.
last team, which was Satish and Komal.
Hi, so
Yes,
we
so-
are going to enact scene 1, where I'm playing the boss and Satish is my employee. Okay. So I have given Satish a deadline. He has to prepare the work by today afternoon, and at any cost, and he needs to put that file by 3:30 p.m. on my table. So yeah, that's how now I approach him. Hi everybody, good morning. Hi Satish, I need you in my cabin right now.
Yes, Komal, I know what you will be asking today. As per my schedule, we have the meeting at 3:30 p.m. So
Yeah,
today,
can we discuss in my cabin, please? Can you come
yeah,
in my cabin?
we have 2 more hours
Yeah, thank you.
as per my schedule. As per my priority today, we have one deliverable. That is, we have to send a draft for our client. They are expecting today, so I have worked on it. So basically, there are a lot of pendings from the client. So list also ready from our end. So we'll be able to send it after discussion with you probably by 4 o'clock today. So I have prioritized my work based on my what is the deliverables on the deadlines we have. So basically, I focus on that 20/80 rule, where most of our clients, we have the clients which we provide like high-end customers for them. We always give that priority basis, and they are also paying
Yes.
well.
Satish, 1 second. I know you know your job better, the 80/20 rule. Definitely, please go ahead and do whatever you want to. I trust you, but I need the file by 4 p.m. And if you need my time, I only have 15 minutes, and you can talk to me after half an hour.
Ex-
And
Komal, and
all the works are important. Everybody is
I have to
doing it,
leave the office.
so just do it. And I. How about if I give you 20%? Diwali bonus. So come on, get going,
You know,
and
earlier
just do it. And I need it by 4 p.m. anyhow.
by 5 p.m. I have to leave today because we have virtual cafe scheduled by 5:30. So I am leaving by 5. So 4 p.m. I will be done with my work today. So thank you so much, Komal.
Yeah, look, do whatever you want to do. No problem. Just 4 p.m. I need the file. That's it. That's your headache, how you want to manage 80/20 rule, clients, and I'm sure you're very well equipped. That's why we have hired you. So I know you can do your job. Just do it in 4 p.m. and 20% Diwali bonus. Okay. All
Thank you.
right. I have to enter another meeting in some time, so I'll see you after half an hour. Okay. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Wow, wow.
Too good, yeah.
I just have to add something to
fight,
this,
full fight.
which is not related to the thing, but this is the first time I'm seeing someone can make Satish challenge and quiet. So I think maybe it would be good to have a boss like Komal.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you guys are
I agree.
amazing. Yeah, all of you are amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Komal just, she cannot act, she just lives.
Thank you so much.
Amazing, guys.
Amazing.
So isn't that, Shweta, amazing? I think that was really good for all of us to
Yeah.
understand really.
Yeah, it is getting us towards closer to our topic, right? So we have started
Yeah.
thinking over it again. What does it mean exactly, rooted yet independent?
Yeah, so it's amazing. Thank you guys for being so participative and giving us an input of really what does the topic mean by enacting it and understanding it yourself. But for now, we have a special person, a person who's come all the way far from another country. So we would like to welcome her, and it's a her. So how do we normally welcome people is by clapping or something. But what I would like to say is let's just do a piece, and because she comes from a place of peace, so she practices meditation, and she's Ansuya Sanuku. To describe her in few words, I would just say she's a friend. She's an amazing person with values. She's got a lot of wisdom and knowledge. And when we spoke to her about this topic, what does rooted yet independent mean, she shared some amazing inputs to us. So what we felt is that that's where it has to be shared to you all. So before I take more of her time, I would hand it over to Ansuya Sunuku to tell us what do you think on this topic and share your wisdom with us. Welcome. Namaste. Thank you for joining.
Yes, welcome Ansya then. Namaste.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for inviting me in this gathering. So yeah, the other day, they were asking me about this topic. So of course, the topic is, it's wide enough. So it says rooted but yet independent. So it can be in different contexts, actually. The topic itself, if you take the topic, you can speak about it, you can think about it, and practically, put a lot of things in a different angles. But for me, what I understood about the topic, rooted but yet independent. it means the first word, when we say independent, what does that mean to our own self? First, one needs to understand and define what is independence and what is dependency. See, independence and dependency, these are the two words. So dependency is the opposite of independence. So what does that mean? Being independent means not to have any dependencies. So when we look around and see and understand our own lives, so am I in the whirlpool of dependencies, or am I an independent person? Today, if you take the word being independent, it is completely a different meaning in the world out there, right? Being independent means people think, oh, I want to be financially independent. Yeah, I want to be myself. I want to do whatever I want to do, where there is no restriction, etc., etc. There are various definitions, but I'm sharing from a spiritual perspective. So what is independence and what is dependency? If you see in our lives, we all exist with people. We have a lot of relationships around us. We have a lot of possessions around us. So people, possessions are with us. But am I dependent or am I independent? So this is one of the questions which we have to ask our own selves. Because wherever there is dependency, what happens is there is a bondage which we create unconsciously. So there is some sort of bondage which you create when there is dependency. And when there is any kind of bondage within, you can't be happy. There's something which is nagging, right? So whenever there is something which is nagging you, you can't be yourself. Sometimes people say, I want to be myself. Yes, you can be yourself. But what is yourself? First, one needs to understand. If I have to be myself, what is myself? What is my true reality? So that is what I am. I need to be that. So, but whenever dependencies come, so that blocks my true reality, my true experience. So you all enacted different roles, and in the skits, you expressed different aspects. So here, being dependent means, like, you see, we want something from a place, from a person, from a position. So whatever we have, usually what happens is we seek an approval, or we want something to make us happy. We want to draw happiness from something external. So that is what is dependency. So dependency is something where I am happy when so and so is there with me. I am happy, comfortable, secured when I have this with me. It could be money, it could be a possession, or any physical object, anything. So how we created dependency to make ourselves comfortable, like you mentioned about smoking, for example. So someone, to get an experience of high, so you are dependent to an object. So dependency in this world, all different sorts of addictions, you take any addiction, whether it is in a relationship, whether it is in a position, any relationship, any form of dependency. So it leads to addiction. So, and that particular addiction will never make you happy in reality. See, like, let's say someone smokes. So someone is after smoking or taking any form of whatever kind of weed. So they are, they are in a different space. They have a very beautiful experience. Okay, what next after that? Is the experience permanent? So that particular experience is forcing the person to go again and again to that particular object for happiness. So that means I'm being dependent on that particular object. And when that is not there, then I do not have that particular weed or whatever kind of smoking which I'm not doing. So what is the feeling which I have? Am I comfortable? So I'm not comfortable, right? Because I'm dependent. And because of the dependency, when that particular thing is not there, I'm not happy with my own self. I'm agitated because I want it. I have an addiction. The same goes with the relationships. In relationships, we are together. Yes, we are all having different mother, father, children, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, different, whatever kind of relationship. But if you see in relationships, the reason for any form of pain or in a relationship is just because of dependency and expectation. So when there is dependency, what happens is, oh, I'm dependent, I want this person to behave in a way. It could be a relationship between a colleague and a boss. Boss has an expectation towards the employee. The employee also has an expectation towards his or her boss. So in that relationship, again, I am behaving based on the expectation I have. So if my expectations are met with so and so person, the way I behave is very good. But when my expectations are not met, so what's happening? What is happening to my behavior? It's not nice, right? I'm not happy. So I expected my boss to behave like this, but my boss did not behave with me like this. I expected my employee to be like this, but he was not like this. So my behavior is changing. So when there is dependency, when there is expectation, my behavior, which is not me. So I'm changing according to the circumstance. And my behavior is purely dependent on the result. I'm expecting something and I want, like in a husband and wife. So the wife expects the husband to be Mr. Perfect, and the husband expects the wife to be Mrs. Perfect. But it's never going to happen. So what's going to happen? It's just a war, right? So there is so much of expectation, and when those expectations are not met, there is irritation and frustration inside. And because of that irritation and frustration, so there is no place for peace or happiness. Because anytime you experience any form of negative emotion inside, you cannot be peaceful. Either it should be peace or peacelessness, right? So if I'm experiencing some sort of peacelessness inside, it's a sign for me to check and see that I have drifted away from my true reality. This is not me. So I'm behaving according to the expectations which I have. And because those expectations are not met, it is creating a kind of a dejection inside me that results in unhappiness. So dependencies are so subtle. If we see unconsciously, consciously, we are completely dependent, like even with the food. For example, a person who's dependent on food, like, oh, I want this, I want this, I want this. Okay, what if you do not have that? So how are your emotions changing? So the moment I have this, I'm so happy. The moment I'm given the food which I don't like, how's your face? How's your reaction? Right? Oh, I have to eat this. How can I eat this? So we have unconscious dependency in relationships, in possessions, like let's say your mobile. Let's say you lost your mobile. So what's happening to you? For one day, you did not find your mobile. So what's going on? The kind of nervousness, the kind of anxiousness, because I'm so dependent on that particular object and I can't live without it. So it is causing a lot of reactions inside. So any form of negative reaction which happens within us is because of these conscious or unconscious dependencies which we have developed. And if you see, It is a long list, not a single list. And when you're living in that state, that is not a true living. When you're living in dependencies and just trying to please yourself, it is a life which is very superficial. That is not the true life, the life from inside. It is not the life from your roots. So the topic roots means, what is my root? What is my base? What is my true reality? So that is what should be my behavior. That is what should be in my actions, words, and thinking. But when my consciousness is dominated with any form of dependencies, I get disconnected with my root. So it's very important to be connected with your root and independent. So independent doesn't mean that, oh, I want to do whatever I want. I do whatever I like. I go wherever I want. I'm not bothered about others, right? People think, free thinking, people who come from a background of free thinking, they think along those lines and they think that that is being independent. But in a spiritual connotation, being independent means your consciousness is not dependent on any physical object, position, or a person. It is completely free. So when your consciousness is free, so your consciousness can experience the true freedom. And when you're in that true freedom, that is what is the true happiness or peace. You can experience a complete peaceful state, calmness, serenity, and the happiness which is not temporary. Today, through dependency, whatever forms of happiness which we experience, okay, it is there. A person is close to you and the person is praising you. The person loves you so much, respects you so much. You have so much of happiness inside. And tomorrow, the next day, the same person comes to you and he defames you and he's angry at you. So what happens to your happiness? It just vanishes. Happiness becomes sorrow. So the reason my happiness became sorrow is because I was dependent, right? My consciousness was receiving, oh, this person was behaving nicely, so I was happy. So my consciousness is dependent on someone for my happiness, and which is a very dangerous game which we unconsciously play in our lives. So being independent means completely freeing my consciousness from any forms of dependencies. So whether it is food, whether it is your lifestyle, whether it is your objects, gadgets, the comforts, whatever kind of luxury you have, the relationships you have, okay, it doesn't mean that you have to leave everything. That is not the idea here. The idea here is, yes, you are surrounded with everything, but yet I'm not dependent on them. I'm not dependent on them means my consciousness is not dependent on them for happiness or peace. Yes, they are there. You see, whether it is object, position, people, these are all made of matter. And matter is nothing but it's an energy. Energy comes and energy flows. Energy comes, flows. It's a flow of energy. Matter is nothing but when you allow it to flow, it's a flowing energy. And if you try to hold it, that is where it becomes stagnant. You can never hold matter. Like let's say, for example, a river is flowing. The moment you stop it, you construct a dam or you store, you stop the flow. So what happens? The stagnancy begins, right? So when the energy is flowing, there is no stagnancy. So whether it is people around us, things around us, any physical object, places, these are all matter. So if you want to enjoy, enjoy. So energy is free flowing. Don't try to hold on to it. So that is what is dependency. I can use everything, whatever I have, I use. Whatever friend circle I have, the relationships I have, I'm interacting, I'm sharing, caring, everything. But yet, one of the important aspects I need to learn is not to be dependent. So when I learn this lesson, what happens is my consciousness becomes free. And I start to experience my true freedom. So in that state, you will come to know who you are. See, now each one of us have different masks. So when you ask yourself, who am I? So you will have answers. Oh, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this. Because your consciousness is dependent on so many things. And because of those dependencies, you are creating so many masks. And then you think you are this, you think you are this. But in reality, who am I? So I can unravel that my true reality only when I remove all these masks, all the masks of dependencies which I'm wearing, and I completely become free of them. So then I discover, oh, this is me. These are my values. These are my qualities. And when I am tuned to my qualities, so what happens is I'm completely peaceful and happy. I can very easily generate happiness independently. So there is happiness always in independence. But the happiness which you get in dependency is always temporary. So when I have this understanding at a deeper level, so I don't look for something, right? In a relationship, in an object, in a place, I'm not looking. It's there, yes, relationship, someone is nice to you, enjoy. But don't expect it. Don't be expecting the same behavior from that person forever, because nothing is constant in this world. And the energy keeps changing, the matter keeps changing. So everything is in this world is prone to change. Nothing is constant. So that's the reason it's very important. I should not be living in an expectation. So when I live in an expectation, I'm not a master. I'm a victim, right? Oh, today, if this is there, I'm happy. Today I have water, so I'm happy. Tomorrow there is no water, I'm in a mess. So it's, yes, it is there, you use it. But when it is not there, I need to train myself to be independent. Being independent means that particular need which I had should not control your consciousness, should not disturb your consciousness. I should be able to manage, even though I don't have. Today I have all the luxury, tomorrow I might not have anything. So yes, fine. I should not train my consciousness to be dependent on all these objects. So that is what this independence is. So I'm going to share a few tips. So in relationships, or when we are using things, or when we are interacting, or we are doing any particular action. So one of the important aspect which you can follow is, so we usually know in the spiritual Raj Yoga meditation, so we bring this topic, we bring this example that in a lotus, leading a lotus-like life. Leading a lotus-like life means if you see a lotus is in dirty water. So you just pick up the lotus, but when you pick up the lotus from the dirty water, if you see the stem, there is no dirt on it. It's completely untouched. It's completely free. There is no impurity attached to the stem at all. It is in dirty water, but yet the dirt is not touching the stem. So detached and loving means I am with everything around me. So everything around me might be imperfect. Everything around me might not be positive, right? Whether it's people, my situations, my problems, there might be a lot of imperfection. There might be a lot of problems around me. I might be living in a lot of circumstances, but yet, whatever I am in a space, whatever space I am in, whatever it could be, but I need to learn to train my consciousness to be untouched by those circumstances, whether it's good or bad. So when I train my consciousness untouched, so what happens is I'm like a lotus. See, when you see a lotus, how beautiful it is. It is completely beautiful and it is completely detached and yet loving. So in the same way, when I'm detached from expectation, right? Like sometimes in relationships, oh, if this one behaves like this, then only I can behave like that with him. When there is this particular expectation completely removed, then what happens is you start to share your true values. You'll become loving. So when I become loving, so things become happy around me. But if I want love, like people in the world always, whatever they do, whatever they in relationships, what is that which people expect is being acknowledged, being approved, right? There is some sort of neediness. I'm in need all the time. I'm in need to be made happy. I'm in need to be loved, right? So these are different sorts of needs which a person lives in, and those needs never get fulfilled by human beings or physical objects. That need can be fulfilled only when I'm independent. So detached and loving. When I start giving love, what happens is the love inside me will become abundant. See, by looking for love outside, you will never become abundant. So you're seeking love, you can never become abundant. But when you share love, that is where abundance comes. So the secret to generosity, so when we talk about generosity, so when you give, whatever you have, when you give, that particular thing increases. So in life, like whatever you're looking for, let's say you want love or you want happiness, give that to others. It will come back to you in abundance. That is the secret. So loving and detached. Detached means it doesn't mean that, oh, I should not be talking to this person, I should not be mingling with that person. That is not attachment. See, you might be with people who might be having different sanskars. Sanskars means different personality traits. But yet, I should not have any negative thought about those particular personality traits. Usually what happens is when you start an interaction, when you're in a relationship with so-and-so, you start to pick all the negative personality traits of that particular person, and you start to create an impression about that person. So when you start creating an impression, so what's happening is each time you see that particular person or interact with that particular person, you will only interact based on your impression which you have created. So if I don't see anything negative in a person, so how is my interaction with that particular person? If I interact with that person, keeping in mind what that person said or did, how's my interaction? So in that, what's happening is my goodness is blocked, right? Oh, you see, this person yesterday did this to me. So you have completely absorbed that particular whatever mistake or whatever that person did to you. And it has created a deep impression in your heart. And when you next time, when you behave with that particular person, you can't share love, right? Okay, that person might be wrong, 100%. Yes, that person is wrong. But what is also wrong is I have created an impression about that person in my heart, which is blocking my goodness in my heart. My heart is blocked, right? So I cannot behave with that particular person in the same loving way if I'm holding on to some sort of personality which the person has shown. So detached and loving means being detached with whatever I'm seeing in them. Don't pick up things. Everyone is an actor. Everyone is enacting their particular role. So when I'm detached and loving, what happens is the focus would be on my act. A hero actor, when he's acting, will never focus on any other's act. A hero actor focuses on his act so that he brings perfection in his action. So in the same way, I'm an actor. So how should my behavior be in a given circumstance? So someone is lying to you, so you're getting angry. So that person is lying, that is wrong. I'm getting angry, I'm also wrong. So neither of them is a hero actor. So if I have to be being a hero actor, if I have to be independent, so my role should be that where I'm completely beyond any form of expectation and where I oversee. See, no one is perfect in this world. So if in a relationship, if someone wants to be successful, so I need to overlook the weaknesses each, whatever the person has, right? If I start picking, if I start holding on to the mistakes and the past, so what happens is it's going to become muckier and it becomes dirty, right? The relationship becomes stagnant. There is so much of unhappiness, sorrow, pain, etc. So the saying, where there is independence, there is happiness, which is true, but when you understand it in an accurate way. So in independence, you're not depending for happiness, you're not depending on for love, you're not depending on for any power from anyone, but yet you're full and you're giving. So your generosity is completely high. And you're independent, you're generous. You don't want it from anyone else. You want to give, give, give. So that is the sign of independence. The sign of independence means it's not being selfish. The sign of independence means where you are sufficient, self-sufficient, and you're ready to help others to be sufficient. I'm not talking at the monetary level, in every angle, whether it is supporting in kindness, supporting in spirituality, being generous, helping, etc. So that is where you start supporting others when you're self-sufficient. So spiritually, I need to be self-sufficient by knowing my root state, my original state. What is my original state? See, everyone wants happiness. Everyone wants love. Is there a single person in this world who says that I don't want happiness, I don't want peace, I don't want love? Is there anyone? Everyone wants this. Throughout the day, whatever you're doing that only to experience these three ingredients: peace, love, and happiness. And I am made of those qualities. You drink water every day. Why do you drink water? Why does the body need water? You drank yesterday, but today you need. Why? Water is a need. The water is a need because your body is made of water. 80 to 90% of your body is just water. And that is the reason you need water. And it is the necessity. In the same way, why we souls, we human beings, we need peace, love, happiness, is because inside of us that is what is there. Inside the spiritual realm, we are filled with peace, love, happiness, strength, purity. So this is what we have inside. So whenever you do something wrong, you feel guilty because your original state is purity. And when you deviate from that purity and positivity, you're not happy because innately that is your root. So when I identify my true roots, my true qualities, so what happens is, in a state of independence, you start experiencing them naturally instead of looking for them outside. See, today, why people look for peace, love, and happiness from outside is because I'm not able to generate it for myself. Like, let's say, for example, a person who can't walk, what does he do? He takes the support of a stick, right? Because he's not able to walk. I'm dependent on this person for love. I'm dependent on money for my happiness. I'm dependent on so-and-so for my peace. So anything, whatever I'm dependent means I'm walking with a stick, which is not a real natural way of living. Being independent means I can source naturally whatever is inside me. I can easily experience. I have the ability to have those qualities and to experience those qualities and to generate the abundance of those qualities. So that is what is independence. And that happens when you practice meditation. So in meditation, what you do is you connect with your own inner source of qualities, and then you connect with the divine, who's God, the supreme being. So when you connect, so what happens is you completely fill with, you draw all the powers, all the virtues, all the goodness which you need in your life from the source. So when you're drawing from the source, there is no pollution, there is no adulteration. When you're drawing from something physical, it's always adulterated, it's not in a pure form. So what we get from God, who's the source of peace, source of happiness, source of strength, source of bliss, source of purity. So whatever you get, that is the purest. And when I receive from the purest, what happens is my inner being is completely independent and abundant. And in that state, there is no dependency. So I become the giver. I am not anymore a taker. I'm just a giver. Even if in a relationship there is friction, even in any form of life where you're incurring loss, you are incurring hurts, etc. But I get the strength to forgive, let go, and move on. But if I'm dependent, so what happens? I cannot move on because I cannot let go. I cannot let go because I cannot forgive. When I can't forgive a person, you can't let go. When you can't let go, you can't move on. You're stuck there, right? Your sorrow is making you stuck. In a day, we get stuck in this way many times, right? So and so said this, so and so did this. That's why I'm feeling this. We get stuck. These are the signs of dependencies. In independence, there is no being stuck. It's just I'm moving on. I'm just flying. There is no obstruction in my state of consciousness, state of being. So that is true independence. So I'd like to stop here. So should we take questions here, or should we do meditation, or what you want to do here?
Wonderful.
Well, we are just enjoying listening to you, what you're sharing, and there was a lot of depth. And I think after this, I think shall we do a meditation first before we take questions, because there is a flow in that energy which you're sharing.
Yeah,
That
sure.
might help us to understand.
Okay, we will just do a short meditation where you can have a contemplation, and you can also look at yourself. What is that you're looking for in your life, and what is that you're looking for, and from where you're looking for, and how to overcome that particular dependency, etc. Right? So let's try. So you can just sit, make yourself comfortable. Take a deep breath. I relax my body. I just allow my body to completely be in a relaxed state. I make myself comfortable. Make yourself very comfortable, relaxed, so the body doesn't pull your attention. As I settle my body into stillness, I try to take my consciousness or awareness, just make your consciousness travel around your body. Try to feel every organ of your body. Just try to relax. If you find any organ in pain, restless, just observe it. Just relax it. As I take my consciousness, move around the body. I become aware of who am I. I am a spiritual energy, completely separate from the physical body which I am in. I start to feel this differentiation between my body and myself. These are two different entities. My body is my physical costume, whereas I am the spiritual being in this physical body. I, the spiritual being, the soul, I'm an actor acting with this particular costume. So my acting is composed of all the thoughts that I create, all the words that I speak, and all the actions that I do throughout the day. So as a witness, I try to observe my own thinking, my words, and my actions. How are they? Are they positive? Are they uplifting? Are they giving me happiness? Am I comfortable with all the acting or actions which I'm doing? Am I comfortable with the emotions, different emotions which come on in my life? Is there any emotion that is bothering me, that is nagging me, and that is causing pain within me? I try to identify that particular emotion which is taking away my comfort. It could be anyone. It could be fear. It could be worry. It could be anger. It could be sadness. It could be insecurity. Is there any of these emotions which is drifting me? I just witness that particular emotion. I'm observing it as a detached observer. So when I observe, I'm separating myself from that particular negative emotion. In this separation, I'm freeing me with the entangle of that particular emotion. As I become free, I start to experience my inner strength. As I experience my inner strength, start to experience a very deep determination and courage to overcome any of the negative emotion. Now I see myself in an aura of light around me. There is a white light around me, and I'm seated in that particular aura. This aura of white light is my protection. As I exist in this space of light, there is no intrusion of any form of negative energy. By being in this space of light, I invoke God, the Supreme, the source of all the powers, the source of all virtues, the parent, the spiritual parent of all the souls. As I invoke God's divine presence, I start to experience God's loving embrace, God's rays of light and love embrace my being. God's rays of power is strengthening my being. God's love is healing my being. God's purity is purifying my being. All the impurities are being destroyed in this power of purity. As my impurities take leave, my dependencies fade off, and I see myself as independent, where I'm dependent only on one who is the Almighty. My dependency is to the one where He is the source for everything that I need in my life. In this dependency with the one, I completely feel protected and secured because I'm under the canopy of the Almighty, the All-Powerful. So in this companionship with God, there cannot be anything that is wrong. I feel independent. I feel empowered. I feel rejuvenated. I feel recharged. Start to feel these vibrations of purity, power, and peace flowing into my body and through my body. These vibrations are flowing out, purifying my space, charging my space. Now, slowly I become aware of my surroundings and the room in which I'm sitting. Om Shanti.
Amazing. What a wonderful experience, isn't it? I'm sure all of us are rejuvenated with this beautiful meditation. Thank you so much, Ansuya Ven, for this wonderful experience. And we've learned so many things today, actually. We came to know the real meaning of independence. So till now, I was understanding independence completely differently. But now I've understood spiritually what does independence mean. And I actually have written down too many points, lovely points to share actually. But yeah, few of them being like you should be like a lotus, to be detached and loving at the same time. It is slightly difficult, but yes, we should all practice, I'm sure. And yeah, this was a completely new thing which I came to know is real independence is to be generous. I really love that point. It's something new and different. So there were so many new things and a lot of wisdom. And I'm sure that all this wisdom is going to help us experience real freedom and real independence. And I'm sure all of the audience would also agree. Thank you so much for that. Should we take a few questions? Is it okay, Ansuya sister?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, are there any questions from the audience which you would like to ask? Anybody would like to ask anything? I'm sure everybody is like full of knowledge now and they have started reconsidering thinking on this topic again. Yeah. Yes, if you have any questions, please, you can unmute yourself and ask, or if you would like to share in the chat box, that is also fine.
Omal has put something in the chat box.
Would you like to read it out?
So Komal says, I have a question which is, we are entangled with some or the other situation. So how can I be independent always or most of the time?
You see, being independent means not to be controlled. See, like a situation is there, circumstance is there. Because of certain circumstances, my consciousness is entangled, means that is being dependent, right? So when I'm not able to be my own true reality, that means a particular situation is controlling you. So I need to see what is that which is controlling me. Is that a person? Is that this particular situation? And if you feel that that particular situation is controlling your consciousness, I need to really free myself. I need to make the effort. It's not about how to, because the circumstance is controlling you. It means that I need to ascend from that particular state by moving on, by taking the power from God. Because most of the times when I get entangled in a situation, being entangled in a situation or circumstance means there is a something which is holding me, right? I need to see what is stopping me. What is the reason for this particular entanglement? Either lack of understanding, since that means there is something like which I don't understand. I have lack of knowledge about something, and the other is lack of certain power. So what is that which I'm lacking? What is the reason for the confusion? Like when you're entangled in a circumstance or situation, you do not know what to do. You do not know where to go. That means it's not clear, right? So I need to, with the help of knowledge, I need to really understand my situation. Where am I standing? How to overcome that particular situation? Because you should never allow yourself to be entangled, number one. So I need to overcome that particular situation. Then only I can move forward. Like, let's say if you're entangled means something is holding you. You can't move forward. So you can't live like that forever. And it's not healthy living. So I need to see what are the ways to untangle myself. And then I need to move on. I need to free myself. So I need to know. So what is this circumstance, how it's controlling me, and what is that which I require? I need power to make a right decision, or do I need power to let go, or lack of understanding? So I need to identify these aspects, and then I need to become. It's not that you can't be free when you're entangled. Yes, you're in a situation like for example, let's say a family, right? So like, let's say I'll give you a hypothetical situation. So you're in a family where each one is a different personality and you're a different personality. And you should not be feeling that, oh, all these people are like this, but I don't want to be entangled. When you have to live with that particular family, I need to learn how to deal with all these people. It doesn't mean that, oh, I can't get along with these people, so let me leave and go. No. So it doesn't happen. Like, you can't untangle, like if in a relationship, a marriage, a family. So you can't untangle, right? The relationship is there, like, it's a family. And when it is a family, you can't break a family. So what you will have to do is you have to find stuck. So you need to find a way how to deal with people around you, how to deal with the situation which is there around you. It's not running away from the situation. So that's why it is very important. It doesn't mean that people are there, so you need to be entangled. No, you need not be. I need to be detached from their personality, and I need to learn a new way how to deal with it. I need to ascend myself. I need to step up. Sometimes what happens is you need to step up in relationships. So when you step up, you're not expecting, you're giving. So when you're giving, you're free. So you need to really identify your situation.
Thank you, ma'am. It was a nice session, which was for the last one hour. And can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. So we discussed about dependency, independency, addiction, possessions, relationship, all that kind of thing. But yet, that as the title says, rooted yet independent. So need to be somewhere rooted, or what does it mean that rooted to something?
If you can unmute us, yeah. Sorry, you mute yourself, yeah. So rooted means here, of course, we were discussing about this, what does the topic means actually, So for me, when I understand this particular topic, rooted but yet independent means like you are with all your relationships, right? This is rooted, you're rooted, right? You can't uproot yourself. Uprooting means you're breaking the relationship, right? You are not uprooting yourself, you're rooted, you're with everyone, you are with them, but yet you're not dependent. Consciously, you're not dependent, you're independent. That is one meaning, yeah? And you're rooted and independent means rooted with my own values. Like, let's say, for example, you're in a company, you're working with people, your colleagues, and everyone is different. Your value system is different, their value system is different, but yet, so you are rooted to your value system and independent. You're mingling with everyone, but yet you're not being influenced. So that is another meaning. So you can take this topic into different meanings, but rooted means being rooted with your values. Rooted means to completely be in the situation where you are in all the relationships which you have around you, but yet you are independent. You're not dependent on those relationships. You're not being influenced by those relationships. You're not being controlled by those relationships, but you're there, but you're free. Nothing is binding you. So that is what is the meaning. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Any other questions?
So any more questions? Okay. Or we are ready to wind up.
One question here is about when it's come to mostly the relationship things. Sister Ansha was sharing about we absorb a lot of things from when it's come to the relationship, and we'll create that impression in our mind about the people, and when we connect with them with that mindset, it becomes difficult. One side is we see the reality, what's happening on the other side. When you come into relationship, obviously there's things, it's not that always stable and strong enough to not to absorb those getting affected by those things, whatever comes into the different sanskars, the way the interaction goes. So what is a practice which we can it's easily said to be detached and to observe everyone, but what is that lacking within ourselves, which is allowing us to experience that kind of emotional reaction within ourselves? Because things are happening outside, but still we feel that upset, or we feel that bit kind of irritated with that kind of things happening with the relations in terms of whoever it may be. So yeah, so what is your thing that where we can keep practice rather than trying to change the things outside?
One is a superficial reaction. You see, in relationships, reactions do happen. Like, there is a lot of in relationships, in closeness, and there is some sort of expectation. One aspect is a superficial reaction, which is a common thing, right? You get irritated by someone doing something, but there is a reaction which is not superficial. The superficial reaction is where that person is like that person is going to behave like that person is going to do these kind of blunders, and that. And a superficial reaction is a response to that particular person's behavior, whatever. So that is a superficial reaction which usually happens. And the other is a reaction which happens at an emotional level. So the dangerous one is when a reaction happens at an emotional level. So when a reaction happens at an emotional level, you're holding on to that particular person's weakness. In superficial reaction, it's just irritation, frustration, and that's it. You know that person is like that, and you just accept. But in an emotional reaction, you are hurt. So you're completely hurt at a deeper level. And when you're hurt, usually what happens is the moment you are hurt by a person, so there is a natural tendency of hate towards that person. There is a hate. Means, of course, this is again connected with anger. See, why is hate? Hate comes out of anger, right? So I should see that the reaction which I have, is it emotional reaction? So emotional reaction means my anger or my hatred inside is getting triggered. It is coming. And if I'm experiencing anger or hatred for anyone, it could be anyone. I dislike this person because of this behavior. So where is dislike? The dislike is inside, right? I'm feeling it inside. The hatred, where is it? Where is the hatred? I'm feeling it inside. Who is it harming first? That person's negativity is that person's property. But when I am creating hatred, or when I'm creating some sort of negative emotion because of that particular person's behavior, I am feeling it, right? So when I am feeling, who is it harming first? It is harming my own self. So this is the understanding which I need to have. So whenever I am having emotional reaction towards some person's behavior or personality, it is my own weakness, not that person's weakness. See, so that person is just a trigger. That person triggered your anger. That person triggered your hate. That person triggered your jealousy. If you're feeling those, they are just trigger factors, but I'm feeling it. So if I'm feeling, it is causing some sort of disturbance inside me. So who's responsible for my feeling? Usually it's very simple answer which we say is, because of this person, I'm feeling this. This is natural answer, or the usual answer which we give. But in reality, the truth, the bitter truth is, I have created my own feeling because of my own emotions. I'm responsible. So I'm responsible for my feelings. So this is one of the first understandings which I need to have. So this means to understand the reaction, emotional reactions which we have. So of course, understanding my own emotional reaction is the first stage actually. It is the first very beginning stage. And then the next step is, if it's a relationship and that particular relationship where you cannot break the relationship, you have to exist, you have to live with that person. So you have to come up with a way where there is no such kind of friction and this particular kind of negative vibration between two people. This is very important. So for that, I need to change my impression. So to change my impression, first I need to accept that particular person, the way the person is. I need to accept that particular person, the way the person is. Okay, that person's role. I need to separate myself from that particular person's role. That person's acting, that acting is that person's. It has nothing to do with me. Usually the emotional reaction happens when I start to identify my feelings with that particular person's actions. If I stop that, if I break that, there is no reaction. You will see that person as an actor. Yeah, let him be, let her be the way they want, and I will be the way I want. So the emotional reaction happens only because of attachment. And in attachment, there is expectation. You have in your mind, this person should behave like this. You have in your mind, this person should say like this, do like this, think like this. So this is the attachment which you have. And that's why there is expectation. And then that expectation is not met, there is emotional reaction. This is the chain. So first I need to do is break the attachment, become independent. Become independent means, this is another aspect which I did not cover, is being independent means where there is no attachment. I'm not attached. Dependency, expectation, right? All these aspects come only when there is attachment. The root is attachment. So when I break the shackles of attachment, I accept the other person the way the person is. There is no expectation. I live and I let the other person live, which is true love. So that is what is love. And of course, it's not an easy job. So you need to do a lot of inner work to accept the other person the way the other person is, and you are not affected by other person's behavior, and you are independent. It needs a lot of work. It's not a joke. Clear?
Yeah, thank you. So it's a very deep point you are talking about, the attachment and to disidentify myself with the other person's identity, what the role they are playing. So it's quite deep, and I had to reflect and to start working and monitoring myself to see the progress in this aspect. And thank you very much for that sharing.
Sister, thank you very much for your brilliant session. Absolutely wonderful. Just a couple of points that I liked here. You mentioned about energy. Energies. I mean, you in fact said it's flowing energy. It was a nice point that you said. You also spoke about being detached yet loving. That's very important. Also, the analogy, when you're attached to something, it's as though you're walking with a stick. So that's a very nice analogy. Thanks, sister. Thank you very much. Just wondering if someone who has joined us for the first time, if they want to share something. Sona, you want to say something about the session, or do you have any question?
No, I wanted to ask a question, but I think I got my answer with someone else's question. I wanted to ask about expectations. So sometimes I have expectations from loved ones, maybe my spouse or children, and I just wanted to get rid of that. But I think someone else asked a very similar question, and I got my answers with this. Thank you so much. I did have some deep insights. Yes, it's all about inner work. And as she said, it's not easy. But yeah, it's a process. We have to go through this.
You see, once you start the journey, you'll start enjoying the journey. So the thing is, the aspect is to start your journey. See, sometimes when you don't start the journey, you're still, oh, how and why, when, these questions come. Once you have started the journey, you're in the journey. See? So it will take you into the path. So
does it also happen that once you are in the journey, you face more challenges and everything around you becomes even harder?
You see, it's all about perspective. You see, I'll give you an analogy. You're driving, right? You're on a journey. Journey is nothing but you're heading towards a destination, right? So before reaching the destination, as you're driving, there are many sightseeings which come, right? So there are many sightseeings, and those scenes might be good, might be bad. Are you going to stop? You're not going to stop, right?
Yes.
You're just driving. You're ignoring your sightseeings. So in the journey, all these aspects are sightseeings. I need to ignore. If I'm busy with the sightseeing, I cannot reach my destination where I have to go. The secret. I need to just move on. Don't get entangled, right? For example, yesterday something happened. And I'm just giving an example. Oh, yesterday something happened, and your mind, since morning, you're thinking about it. This shouldn't have happened, but it happened like this. Why this one did this? Why this one did this? He shouldn't have said this to me. There is completely, that means I'm stuck in the sightseeing. The day yesterday has passed. Today is a different day, but I'm living in yesterday. I'm in the past. I'm not in today. Right? So whenever I'm living in the past or living in the future, you can't enjoy your life. This is the secret. So you can enjoy your life, enjoy your journey only when you are in the moment. When you're in the moment, you're completely light. See, in your life, you will feel heavy, burdened. People who ever say that, oh, I'm tensed, I'm burdened, I have so much of stress. So these words, when we use, that means either you're living in the past or you're living in the future. If you're living in the moment, there is no burden. Because you're not thinking about the past, you're not thinking of the future, there is no burden at all. There is no baggage. You're just light, completely light. And on a journey, when you're light, you can enjoy more. If you're carrying baggage, so you don't enjoy, right? So it's like very difficult. You're walking, the more the lighter, you're driving or whatever, the more the lighter, it's easy. So the spiritual journey is where you don't get stuck into the sightseeings. See, it's a scene. Yes, move on. I'm not going to dissect, oh, why that garbage was thrown like that, why that guy is hitting this one, why this one is honking. Everyone is playing their role. It's a sight scene. It has nothing to do with you. So, what is my purpose? What is my destination? You have to create your own purpose, what you want in your life. So, I need to create a purpose for myself and focus on that. And yet, of course, when you have responsibility with your relationships and with your family, you need to fulfill it. So the way to fulfill accurately is generosity. Step up. Don't live in expectations. So when you live in expectations, there is always sorrow, unhappiness. When you start giving, that is where happiness comes. See, usually people think that happiness comes when someone gives me. That is not true. The true happiness comes only when you give. Try it. Try it. Don't think, even if you're loaded with work, oh, I'm loaded with so much of work, no one is helping me, I'm doing everything. No, don't act in such a kind of consciousness. On the contrary, whatever you're doing, detached and loving, means you do the act with so much of love. Be detached from the expectation that, oh, this one is not helping me, this one is not helping me, I'm loaded, so you cannot enjoy. But if you change your consciousness, I want to do it. Step up, build your capacity, increase your capacity. We human beings have so much of capacity. We have so much of potential. Don't ever think that, oh, I don't have the capacity to do this, do that. No, not at all. We have immense amount of potential, a lot of potential to do any kind of task. So I need to step up and then build my capacity, increase my capacity, and start giving. See, as you give, your abundance increases. You will become more happier, whether it is your relationships, in your family, in your work life, wherever. Start giving in any way. Don't seek. See, the moment you start giving, the universe will throw upon you. Things will come. Whatever you need, it will come back to you. You see, law of karma, right? So whatever you are sowing, it will come back to you.
It will come back.
Yeah. So that is the secret. But usually what happens is we human beings become small, and then we think that, oh, this one should show me love, this one should give me happiness, I need to get here. See, we think small. Don't think small. Think unlimited. In generosity, you don't think small. You're completely in a bigger consciousness. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, I think we can go on and on and on with Sister Ansia's wisdom, but there's a time which we need to keep up to. So first of all, I don't think thanks is enough, but I think a lot of understanding, a lot of churning, a lot of introspection was there in your talk, especially the meditation as well. There was a lot to take from this, and thanks for all of you to even ask these interesting questions, because it's the more transparent we are to share and share with each other, the more we can understand with each other. So that's what Virtue Cafe does, where like-minded young adults come together, share, talk, listen to a speaker, and understand on a topic which is a little complicated, but by the end I'm sure we understand a lot more easier. So thanks to Sister Ansia for joining. Thanks to each one of you who are here today and stayed throughout the session. And it was a little gone overboard, but I think it was worth to go overboard this time. And we hope that you will be joining soon. And the next session will happen again on the 4th of Friday of the next month. And so if you want to follow us, by the way, you can just follow us here, which will be, sorry, just a second.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry to interrupt here. Yeah, we are planning to have it on Saturday evening time, like 5 to 6:30 p.m. For the upcoming session, to see to have more participants because of this prayer timing on Friday. So probably the third week of the November, 5 to 6:30 p.m. So we will be sharing the details once the dates are finalized. So it's going to be a Saturday evening, 5 to 6:30 p.m. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks, Satish, for that. So we are part of Raj Yoga Center. You can follow us on these 4 platforms, which is Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. The current session, if you're watching on YouTube, and if you're not, you can follow us on YouTube, Raj Yoga Center, where you will find the session. And you can follow us on Instagram, where, you know, Sister Anse was talking about some powers. So we have usually some meditation commentaries being uploaded daily on the Instagram and Facebook of Raj Yoga. And these are recently, in the current week, we are going all about powers, the power to let go, as she mentioned, the power to pack up. So you can follow us there and understand what are these powers about, and also find out about other events which we do through a Raj Yoga Center. So these are the platforms which you can. And just earlier, we had mentioned the WhatsApp group. So you can just connect on this WhatsApp group to really connect with us to find out about the Virtual Cafe for young adults, which is happening again next month. As Satish mentioned, it will be on the 3rd week of November in the evening. And whether it will be a live or it will be a virtual one, we'll let you know that as well. But as Shweta started with Namaste, I would like to say Namaste again to all of you. Salaam alaikum. Thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and hasta la vista.